Hour.
Newstalk KGVO, AM 1290 and now 101.5 FM.
You're listening to Montana Morning with Peter Christian.
The Marcus Karma trial gets underway today. Good morning, everyone. It's Montana Morning. Here it is Monday, December the 1st, 2014. Right now we have a clear sky. It is a chilly 4 degrees above zero in Missoula. Ooh, good morning, everyone. Our newscast this morning is sponsored by Temp Right Service. Any plumbing or heating problems, call Team Blue 728-1111. The deliberate homicide trial of Marcus Karma is set to begin this morning in Missoula District Court. Judge Ed McLean told KGVO News recently he's crafted a specific schedule to follow for the trial.
We have the first, the second set aside for the voir dire examination. The third, we have law in motion. The fourth, we will start the trial with opening statements and the state's case in chief.
McLean said testimony in the trial will continue after those opening statements.
Each side has been given 5 days for the presentation of their case in chief. So you're looking at a 12-day trial, probably at the outside.
Judge McLean also confirmed that local media, that's radio, television, and newspaper, will have full access to cover the trial so that the public can stay informed on this much publicized case.
The vast majority of the public can't come down and sit through a courtroom event. They're at work, they're doing other things, but they have the right to be kept up to date. And if we don't utilize our media and allow our media to access, we're cutting off the public.
Marcus Karma has pleaded not guilty to a charge of deliberate homicide in the shooting death of 17-year-old German exchange student Darren Dede. Karma's attorney, Paul Ryan, said after his arraignment that Karma was defending his family and property when he discharged a shotgun 4 times into his darkened garage early in the morning of April 27th. Dede was struck twice and died of his wounds. The case has stirred controversy from national and international press over Montana's perceived gun culture. Articles have appeared in German and other European media, the New York Times, and throughout the United States. The case will be heard in District Courtroom number 3 in the Missoula County Courthouse. And, of course, KGVO News will be there with coverage on Twitter, of course, on Facebook, and on our website at newstalkkgvo.com. The Montana Department of Revenue says same-sex married couples in the state will now have to begin filing joint income tax reports. A federal judge on November 19th overturned Montana's ban on same-sex marriage. Montana Department of Revenue Director Mike Kadis says the agency is not making a judgment on the legality of same-sex marriage, just clarifying the issue for tax administration purposes. The Internal Revenue Service likewise has clarified that all couples married in states which recognize same-sex unions are considered married for federal income tax purposes. The Bozeman Chronicle reports 35 states now recognize same-sex marriage. Early last Wednesday morning, a Ford F-150 pickup driven by a 71-year-old Seeley Lake man drove off Locust Drive and crashed into several parked vehicles. Highway Patrol Trooper Michael Berman was the investigating officer on the scene.
What I know is that we had a driver who had a medical episode, and as a result of that episode, lost control of his vehicle, and it went across the road and off the left side of the road, where it struck a couple parked vehicles and then came to rest.
Berman provides more details on the fatal incident.
I know that he was pronounced dead on his way to the hospital. The coroner is going to make the determination of his cause of death, but there were no indications at the crash scene that his death was a result of the crash. It actually appears that the crash is a result of his medical episode.
No other people were injured in the accident that occurred just after 6 a.m. on Wednesday. Berman said the victim was involved with the convenience store at Clearwater Junction at highways 200 and 83. 4 state lawmakers say they want to raise the daytime speed limit on Montana interstate highways from 75 to 80 and possibly as high as 85. They're drafting speed limit bills for next year's legislative session. State Representative Mike Miller of Helmville says Utah, Wyoming, and Idaho have all raised their speed limits, and he hasn't seen any problems yet in those states. State Representative-elect Art Whittick of Bozeman says people want to be able to drive faster and should have the freedom to do so. Highway Patrol Colonel Tom Butler told the Missoulian he cannot comment on the bills until he's seen them. However, he says driving faster reduces reaction time and makes stopping more difficult. Black Friday shoppers had a new experience this year. Not so many crowded lines compared to years before. NBC Montana reported over the weekend that some stores opened with Black Friday deals on Thursday, and workers and shoppers noticed a difference.
Really, really mellow, no big crowds. We did Target and Walmart and all the big stuff last night, and everybody's just super polite, and everything was broken down more, so people kind of spread out, and there's no big rush to get to big deals. Big deals are everywhere, so. Last night we got a lot of big deals on toys and TVs and all kinds of stuff.
There was Black Friday shopper Whitney Tanner. She says she was surprised with how lax shoppers were this year. Apricot Lane employee Allison Glass says although they still expected a steady stream of customers throughout the day, it was all at a much slower pace.
Today's been a little bit slower than yesterday, but I think we kind of expected it with all the big deals happening last night and, opening earlier on Thanksgiving.
NBC Montana says while the savings are important, for many Black Friday has also become a holiday tradition in itself. Montana's Commissioner of Higher Education has asked the State Board of Regents to consider creating a foundation to accept donations on behalf of the entire Montana university system. Clay Christian told the Missoulian that Governor Steve Bullock is working with a private donor who wants to make a system-wide gift. Christian says he's asking the foundations already in place at university system schools to weigh in on the issue. He says the money would pass through the statewide foundation and be transferred to individual schools in the form of scholarships. Christian said last week that creating the foundation would allow the university system to accept donations that it otherwise would not receive. He says the statewide foundation wouldn't compete with individual schools seeking donations. Farmers markets are a staple for Missoulians from spring through the fall, but shoppers used to have to do without the benefits of such markets in the cold of winter. Well, starting early in November, Franco Salazar and a group of local entrepreneurs began the Missoula Winter Public Market in the old UBC building. Eric Weingart describes some of the items available at that market.
We get into some baked goods, but it's mainly the produce, and now it's the grass-fed beef for now third year. We have eggs. So those are the kind of things that carry over into a winter market that we can continue to provide for people.
Salazar provides the times of operation and the schedule through the new year.
We're going to run through December every Saturday. Then once, we hit the new year, we're going to take a week off, and then starting January 10th, we're going to go every other week through April 18th.
The market's located at 800 South 3rd West between Russell and Orange. Our News Talk time now is 6:10.
Newstalk, KGVO.
Missoula's official weather station.
Another cold day on tap for the Missoula Valley. Today we'll see partly to mostly cloudy skies with our highs warming into the mid-20s. Tonight, a chance of snow showers, otherwise mostly cloudy with our lows in the teens. I'm meteorologist Brooke Foster for KECI 13.